EBV Healing Kitchen, where we are learning, we are cooking, and we are healing from active or reactivated Epstein Barr virus. My name is Andi Bartholomew. I'm a functional nutritional therapy practitioner, and I specialize in Epstein Barr virus. Today, I just want to talk about what is Epstein Barr virus. And then we are going to make one of my favorite salads, which is full of protein, wonderful antioxidants, and herbs and spices. So Epstein-Barr virus is one of the most common herpes viruses. It is in the research that over 85% of the world population has this virus. Now, it doesn't mean that everybody is sick with symptoms. Actually, the other is true. Most of the time, people are asymptomatic and they don't even know that they have active virus in their body. So they just go with their lives and spreading this virus, and that's why it is very common. Most people know about Epstein-Barr virus when it comes out as infectious mononucleosis, which is called the kissing disease, or in Britain, or maybe in Europe too, they call it the glandular fever. And it's because it's very common among college students. That's why it's called kissing disease. It usually comes with high fever, fatigue, body aches, headache. It looks and feels like a bad flu. And most of the time, what they are told, these kids who are infected with infectious mononucleosis or mono, they just tell them, hydrate and sleep it out. Now, this is not the case, really. We can actually do some things with dietary changes, lifestyle changes, get that immune system ready, get the toxic load lowered. But I talk about these things in my future videos on this YouTube channel. So going back to EBV, because it's so widespread, people don't really know much about Epstein-Barr. And up until my 40s, I didn't know that it was existed in my body. But I got really, really sick in my late 30s and early 40s. And I started my research, and I figured out that this was a virus called Epstein-Barr virus that got reactivated in the body and causing me that really bad fatigue. I also had depression and just not feeling well. I just didn't want to do anything because I was exhausted. So Epstein-Barr virus causes the most common symptom with reactivation and with people who have symptoms is fatigue. The medical society does not accept that Epstein-Barr, not yet, I should say, except that Epstein-Barr virus can reactivate. They believe that it is a past infection. So if they do a blood test, they usually do 3 antibodies, which is not enough. They show that you had a past infection. Unless you have your first infection, initial infection, then all 3 antibodies that they usually test are going to be positive. But that's not the case. We know now, because research studies has been showing from the 40s, I think, when it was discovered that Epstein-Barr virus can reactivate and it can cause all kinds of issues. For me, it came out as a thyroid problem, and then I later was diagnosed with Hashimoto's. But it can also cause other autoimmune diseases, and we know that because the research studies showed that it was connected to 7 major autoimmune diseases, including celiac. So the most important thing about this, if you have fatigue, if you were told that maybe it's in your head or there's nothing to do, please come to my channel because I will teach you, or you can join my Facebook group, Overcoming Epstein Barr Virus, where I talk more about Epstein Barr and how we can make sure that we manage this virus. We cannot get rid of it. It stays with us for life, but we can learn how to manage. One thing that I want to mention, that I said mono is one way to get exposed to Epstein Barr, but that's not only the case. I never had mono, but I know that I was exposed to in childhood, and that is usually the case. Most people get exposed to it in childhood, and I had a lot of strep throat, ear infections, tonsillitis problems. That is exactly when I was pinpointing that I was exposed to Epstein Barr, because strep and Epstein, they love each other, they go together. Tonsillitis is usually the first exposure to the virus because it's it goes through the nostril and then goes through the tonsils. So there is a blood test that I can recommend, and also a way to manage Epstein Barr. So I will put it in the comments, the 4 antibody tests that you can get. You don't need a doctor. You can go on online labs and they can do these 4 tests, and I will talk about that later. But let's get to cooking. So today I'm going to make a really nice protein and vitamin rich salad. The ingredients are going to be lentils and cabbage and cucumber and avocado and herbs like mint, parsley, basil, and oregano. And then also we are going to use some spices like cayenne pepper, salt and pepper, and we are going to have some lemon juice and olive oil. So let's get cooking. The very first ingredient that I'm going to put in is my lentils. I cooked half a cup of lentil in salt water, and I usually don't overcook my lentil. It doesn't need much time, 10 minutes and you have it. It's still a little bit dented, and I like that. I don't like it mushy, but I use green lentils, which is not going to get mushy. If you use red lentils, that's usually the mushy one. Okay, so red lentils is my first ingredient that I put in. I'm also going to put another protein. So lentils is protein. I'm also going to put another protein source, which is going to be garbanzo beans. I put half a cup. This is going to be maybe 2 portions, so don't think that you have to eat it in one sitting. Okay, so the next ingredients, I'm going to put this aside. I'm going to get some green and red cabbage. Cabbage is one of my favorite vegetable, full of vitamins. And if you haven't tried sauerkraut, you're missing out. Okay, so I'm going to just cut a little bit, a piece like this, and I usually take the top off, and I'm going to save it for my chickens because they love it. And what I do is I'm going to cut it in half if you don't want big slices, and then I'm going to slice it very, very thin. So I'm just going to slice this very thin. So cabbage is full of vitamin U. We call it vitamin U, but it is wonderful for the digestive system. So if you can't have cabbage, because it's a little bit too much for you, like sauerkraut, start very, very slowly, just a little bit. All right, so I'm going to do the same thing with the red cabbage, just a slice. And get rid of the top one because it's kind of rubbery. Going to cut it in half. So my little slices are not that big. And just really thin slices. Very good. I love cabbage. I love cabbage every single way. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to put these in a bowl. And the reason why I'm going to put it in a bowl, because I'm going to massage it. Because right now it's very stiff, but if you like it that way, that's fine. I'm going to massage it with a little bit of salt. So I'm going to put some salt on it. And then I'm going to break the fiber a little bit, which is going to be easier for the digestive system too, and for your mouth. Okay, so just massage it a little bit. I'm just breaking it up, really just breaking it up. Okay, here we go. Good. I'm going to put it in my bowl. So I just massaged it with a little bit of salt. Okay. It's getting very nice and colorful already. Wonderful. The next ingredient is going to be cucumber. I have about 4 inches of cucumber. I cut it in half and then half, both of them. And I'm going to slice it really thin again, or a little bit bigger than the cabbage. But I don't really like big chunks. But if you like big chunks, please, big chunks. Okay. Again, I'm going to put a little bit of salt on there. Not much, but I'm going to mix it together because cucumber releases its goodness when there is salt involved. Okay, just a little bit. Not much salt, just a little bit. I'm not over salting everything, even though I love salt. And I'm going to talk about salt a little bit because salt is very important. I use Redmond sea salt, Himalayan sea salt, and also Celtic sea salt in my cooking. Those are the 3. I don't go any other salts because they're just not good. Okay, the next ingredient is going to be half an avocado, and what I did is just cut it in around, and I'm going to twist it if I can. Okay, here we go. And this is going to be another ingredient, but before I do that, let's do half a tomato, and I don't like that part in there, so I'm going to just cut it out. It's just not good. Again, my chickens will love it. And I'm going to just slice it. So I cut it in 3 pieces, so they are not big chunks. And again, a little bit bigger than the cucumbers, because it's easier to cut. Okay, put it in. So you can see how beautiful and colorful this salad is going to be. And you know that we need to eat the rainbow. It's going to have the rainbow in there. It already is. Look. And more colors, not just rainbow colors. I don't think I'm going to have any. Oh, maybe the lemon. Okay, the next ingredient is going to be, I'm going to put the avocado last because it can mushes things up, so that will be last. But I'm going to have my herbs. Oh, onions. I always forgot the onions. I love onions, cabbage, onions. two of my favorite things. I'm going to cut a little bit off again. Red onions, that's what I use, but you can also use green onions. Again, I'm going to take the first two layers off because they are kind of rubbery. This doesn't go to mac and chickens. And I'm going to slice it. Thin slice, just like with the cabbage. I'm going to put it in. Another beautiful purple color. Actually, I'm going to put a little bit more. I love onions, so I need more onions. I'm just cutting the edges off. I'm going to take off the first two layers. And then let's chop it. Sorry, not chop it. I'm going to just slice it again, thin slices. As big as you want. I usually cut it in half. And then just take it apart with your hand. Okay, now let's look at our herbs. I told you that I'm going to use some mint, oregano, basil, and parsley. I also recommend cilantro if you like it, or dill. I would do dill instead of mint, not together, but you can. So it's about a handful, and I just got it from my garden. So I'm going to chop this off, chop this up. I need to put this away, so I'll chop it. Oh, the fragrance of these is absolutely amazing. I love mint. I use mint a lot. And also parsley, one of my favorite herbs. Very good for EBV. And all of these herbs are. Actually, in my 4-month program, we go over a lot of herbs and teas because we need to bring them in. We need antioxidant-rich foods that are going to help reducing the oxidative stress in the body, which EBV is creating, or we are creating when we are stressed. So I just chop it up a little bit more. And then let's put it in. Shouldn't use my hand to wipe off. You know, my husband always tells me that I'm going to cut myself, so I'm not doing it anymore. Every bit of it needs to be, and I'm very clumsy with my right hand. I'm a left-handed person, so excuse me for my clumsiness. Maybe I should just use my left hand. There we go. Okay. And because I already used salt on the cabbage and the cucumber, I'm not going to put more salt in there, but it really depends on your taste. So just mix it up. I'm going to put a little bit of flaxseed in there. I just grind it. I have a small coffee grinder that I use. Make sure that you put flaxseed, store it in the fridge before you use it, and grind it before you use it because it loses its potency when it gets oxidated. So I'm going to, I did half a tablespoon, and it makes a lot. So I'm just going to use half of it on there. Okay. All right, and then a little bit of black pepper and cayenne pepper. So this is going to be just a little bit on, just like this, not much. It has heat, a little bit of heat, but it's not chili pepper. Cayenne pepper, I think I need to make a video about it, but cayenne pepper is wonderful. It helps the digestive system, soothing, even though it's a little bit spicy. I'm not a spicy girl, but I do cayenne pepper in my morning drinks and everything that I can put in. Okay, so I'm going to put another really good protein source is my hemp seed. I again store it in the fridge. I'm just going to put half a tablespoon. It just makes it so nice, nutty. You can put nuts in there too if you want, but I have the seeds and the pumpkin hemp seed in there. What else we are missing? Okay, here we go. And now I'm going to use a tablespoon of lemon juice. And then my extra virgin olive oil. Oops. I buy it at Kirkland. This is pretty good. It's 100% Italian extra virgin olive oil. So I'm going to put 2 tablespoons as a starter. One of good fats. Also flaxseed is a good fat. Hemp seed too, even though it's protein. And just feel how moist it is. It doesn't have to be soggy, just moist. And now I'm going to put the avocado in there. I'm just going to cut it in little squares. So I cut it this way, and now I'm going to cut it this way. One thing about avocados is I wash my avocado. I actually wash all of my vegetables, but I scrub it too. I have a nail brush that I use specifically for my vegetables because I don't have to peel. Like carrots, I don't peel it. I really brush it off and I use it. But avocado is another thing. Wash it, because as you cut it, it goes through the skin, it goes into the flesh, and who knows? These things have been handled by so many things, so definitely something. Good thing about avocados and also cabbage, they don't need to be organic. So that's a good one. So just put it in. Little cubes. So I put that in last because it is already making it a little bit soggy. So it's nice and ripe. So that's the last thing that I mix in. So here you go. My beautiful protein-rich salad that has all the rainbow colors and more. I hope you enjoy it. Let me know in the comments if you tried it. And I'm looking forward to be back with another EBV Healing Kitchen, learning, cooking, and healing. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.